Section 5.3 is logarithm functions and graphs. First we have a definition. The logarithm function, base b, is the inverse function of the exponential function base b. So that's actually the definition of the logarithm. It's the inverse of the exponential function with the same base. If f of x is b to the x, we write f inverse of x as log base b of x. So the log base b is the name of the function. Right? The name of the function is log base b. Properties of inverses. F inverse composed with f of x equals x, and this applied to the logarithms and the exponential functions, this gives us log base b of b to the x equals x. So in a sense, this log base b and this base b here, exponential function base b, cancel, and you just get the input x. Composing these two the other direction, compose f inverse of x equals x, right, which is just switching f and f inverse. You get b to the power of log base b of x, right? B to the power of log base b of x. This exponential function and the log base b function cancel, and you get x. That's what this says here. Okay, so you get the input x. So you need to know these two formulas, but you can remember them just by remembering these. And maybe kind of remember what they look like. Okay, a few notes here. Number one, as for exponential functions, b is in the base, b is in 0, 1, union 1, infinity. Remember, for exponential functions, if the base is in 0 to 1, that's exponential decay. And if the base is in 1 to infinity, that's exponential growth. And so these are the logarithm functions that correspond to exponential decay and exponential growth, depending on where the base is. Now, the truth is that usually in applications, the base of a log is in 1 to infinity. It's larger than 1. I think in my life I've seen in application, actually, I've only read one paper where they used a base that was in 0 to 1, and that was a 1/2. But this book tends to use them about equally, so you have to get used to both of them. The graphs just look slightly different, that's all. Domain of f of x equals b to the x, the exponential function, is all real numbers. And you can remember that if you remember what the graph of an exponential function looks like. And that means since for the inverse function you're just reversing the inputs and outputs, right? You're reversing the domain and range. So that means the range of log base b of x is negative infinity to infinity. So that's important to remember. It's always important to remember the domains and ranges of these things. So range of the exponential function is 0 to infinity. Your outputs are positive. And so the domain, the inputs of log base b of x are always positive. They're from 0 to infinity, not including 0. So x greater than 0. So you can't take log of 0. You can't take a log with any base. You can't take a log of -3 or something. It has to be log of a positive number.